Hi, I'm Brandy.
And I'm Lodge, and this is the story behind the song Pulse. Now, we're getting very close to a live performance, and we decided that we were going to have the live performance here at the house for a whole bunch of different reasons. And the reasons are that since this is Brandy's first live performance, she's been singing now. We had the live performance about a week ago.
Exactly a week ago.
Exactly
actually.
a week ago. Yeah, kind of like a week ago right now.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have it at the house because
I was terrified.
Well, yes.
I was terrified. I never sang in front of people in the sense where they were sitting down and all just watching me sing. I mean, I've sang in the car and been at concerts and singing with people, but never in a...
No, concerts like in the crowd.
Not in like a controlled, like, hey, I'm going to watch you perform for me kind of setting. And it's just a totally different experience for me. So I was a little scared.
Yeah, which can be a very scary thing. I mean, I think for most people it would be like, wow, that's insane. So it was sort of my job to figure out what's the best environment for doing this. And going out to some bar or a club or something didn't seem right because it's just not the right environment for it. So it was real easy to have it here, that way we can kind of control who came.
Yeah,
and we've had a lot of people, or Brandy's had a lot of her friends.
Yeah, I've had a lot of really positive feedback, a lot of support from my friends, and so, I mean, it's basically who we invited. We invited a bunch of my friends who have been really interested in the music and very supportive of me, kind of just exploring this, and then some of Lodge's friends that also came that have been interested in the music as well.
Right. And so that was one of the things, to have a controlled environment, which is a very safe environment, just to share this really cool thing we've been doing with our close friends.
Yeah, hopefully they'd be more forgiving if I got too nervous or if
right.
I messed up.
I mean, they're going to be they're going to send out total positive vibes. Nobody's going to be there like, hey,
gosh,
I want my money back, like this, I didn't think, like, hey, you stink,
Yeah, there wouldn't be any of that.
None of that. And also, we wanted to, sometimes when you play out at bars or clubs or places like that, your background music, and it's just not fun. Like you've got 50 or 60 people in this club, and you're trying to play to these people, but you're really background music. So there's like people talking over here and whatever, and you finish a song, and like one person in the back is like, "Heck yeah, man, I love Skinner," whatever. But that's not funny.
Free bird.
Yeah, that's not funny either. Like, especially if you're an artist and you're a beginning artist and you're trying to really connect with people on a personal level on something you care deeply about. That's not it. Like that's not fun. So that's another reason why we had it here, is that we were going to have 25, 30 people, something like that, in a very small, intimate environment, and quite honestly, where people would be quiet.
Yeah.
Like, we put together an hour set list. Literally, it was like an hour to the minute, so that people's attention span. We have a lot of interactive songs kind of sprinkled throughout the set, so that people would be quiet and listen, and they're our friends, and they would enjoy it because it's very, very personal to them and personal to us. Interestingly,
it was like a test for me.
Yeah, it was a good test because as much as you can set up an environment for success like that, and I don't blame myself, but I reflect on this on my part of this. There was a group of people, like I don't have a very, very big house, but there was a group of people in the kitchen from the very beginning of the set. Like, we played an hour. From the very beginning of the set to the very end of the set, they just talked loudly the whole time.
Yeah, a little bit.
And as we did more interactive things with the crowd, they talked louder and louder because I can't hear myself, so I should talk louder. It was totally bizarre, and really sort of a negative thing, but positive in a way that
it did distract me at first. The first time I kind of noticed it, I think it unnerved me a little because I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, people aren't interested, or this is boring, or something like that.
Right.
But then I kind of realized that there were, most of the people were sitting right around where I was standing and singing, and were dead silent and watching me like the entire time. And so I realized very quickly that it was just kind of like a little minor thing, and I treated it as a distraction. And so I guess it turned out to be a positive because I was able to tune it out. I mean, it did affect me a little bit for like one of the songs, but for the most part, I just kind of ignored it, and it went really well. So it was a little bit of, the positive part that came out of that is that if we did go play at a bar, you know, or a coffee shop or something, I would be able to deal with that. You know,
it's a much higher level experience that she was able to deal with that, and that's fine. A little strange and disappointing, I suppose, because I feel like it was my responsibility after the first song to get on the microphone and say something like, yes, thank you for coming to my house for this show where you're listening to this new artist sing who's never sang in front of people before. If you want to talk through this whole thing, just go outside. Yeah, go on the front porch, go on the deck. There's plenty of places to go talk, but please don't talk loudly over what we're trying to do. So
it happens, though.
It happens,
I mean, it was,
you learn a lesson, and it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but I mean, the whole thing. I mean, just the experience for coming from, you know, from at that point 3 months. I mean, it's been like 3 months now of singing. I went from getting these songs, lyrics, and like these rough recordings that Lodge did the recordings of, you know, sent to me, and I would practice them and come over and record, to, you know, with From the Heart and Villains Before Lovers and actually all the songs after that, Burning Up. I would come over and we would work on them together from the beginning, and I, you know, not having seen them, I would just practice them with Lodge, which was very different for me, to us playing all the way through sets and creating the set list and getting to a point where we were actually playing a show.
And interacting with the audience in a way that's meaningful, not just playing a series of songs, but being thoughtful about how do you interact with an audience in a way that engages them, inspires them, pulls them in, engages them, inspires them, pulls them in, that kind of thing. Yeah, except for the people in the kitchen who had a lot to say.
But I mean, we basically tried to organize things such that, you know, we had a couple of serious songs. Because, I mean, from the beginning, we had a lot of more serious songs, and then, you know, we have Villains Before Lovers, and then we had, I mean, From the Heart's more lighthearted. I mean, kind of serious, but, you know, not like Villains Before Lovers. And then with this song, Pulse, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just a silly song, you know?
Well, so Pulse, I wanted to create a song, and it's a very simple concept, but I want to create a song that would really get the audience engaged, and also the beginning of the song, it goes, Brandy! You know, and then, so it goes into this crazy song.
It gets stuck in my head. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you how many times I sang that phrase over.
So it's funny because this was like Villains Before Lovers, that I wrote this song, and it's totally ridiculous, but really the focus was to create a piece of music that would be like a theme song sort of thing. But same thing, she's like, I'm not, this is ridiculous. I don't want to sing it. I'm way too good for this.
I did not say that. I did not say I'm way too good for this. I just said, really? Another song like this? This is ridiculous. Right. And then I said, people are going to think I'm so arrogant because my name is said like throughout the song. Right. And Paper Cuts was the first song that we did, and my name is in the very last verse of the song, or it's actually in the last chorus of the song. Right. And that's what we opened with. And, you know, I sing the first verse and the first chorus, and, you know, it was absolutely nerve-wracked, and then realized very quickly, you know, I took a breath. We kind of did those, and then I said, you know, thanks for coming, everybody, and I realized, oh, this isn't so bad. But we did that song, and then Pulse was like the second to last song we did, and I'm like, oh, both of them were me shouting my name.
Yeah, BrandyParker.com. Well, I mean, it's you can download all these songs at BrandyParker.com. Anyway, but we really did capitalize on this song, because the second to last song we did was Pulse. And so Brandy, you taught everybody how to...
Yeah, basically kind of directed everybody. I would count to 4 and then point at everyone, and they would shout my name, which is really exciting. The fun instruments you hear, I got to actually play those on the track when we recorded it, and I played them live as well. This is the part where everybody shouted my name. Brandy! It was really cool though. I mean, I had basically 30 people when I opened my arms and pointed at them, and they'd all shout my name, and it was really neat experience, especially a really cool way to end the show. We did the fast version of Context at the very end, just because that was the first song we'd ever really done. I mean, other than Precious Girls and Robert Goulet, but yeah, it was a really cool way to end the show.
So you want to give a shout out to David real quick?
Oh yeah, my friend David Sherrick recorded the bits and pieces of the songs and kind of put together
the show.
The live version, and kind of put together this video. It's about 11 minutes, I think, and they're just different pieces of songs. It doesn't have all the songs on it, but it's definitely really cool to watch. It gives you a little bit of a feel for the atmosphere, you know, the kind of the dim lights
and the talking in the kitchen.
And you can hear the talking in the kitchen during the cover of the Jonathan Coulter song that we did. Jonathan Coulton song. Sorry. But you can kind of hear a little bit of the talking, but it was really neat. I mean, he did a lot of work in putting that together for us, and it's definitely really cool for me because I got to see myself singing for the first time, and I will probably rewatch that forever. So, but it's on the Facebook page if you want to go see it, the Brandy Parker Sings Facebook page.
Right, and that's linked from www.brandyparker.com.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is the story behind the song
Pulse.